Thanks for watching Council Wrap Up. I'm Susan Kennedy. We're here with some of the top news of the Montgomery County Council for the month of July. There's a unique collaboration happening in the Up County that defines community. At the Black Rock Center for the Arts in Germantown, organizations have come together to become an example of what it means to be a good neighbor. What was once a gallery for local art is now a hub for food and supplies for Up County residents who are in need of assistance due to the COVID-19 pandemic. At the Black Rock Center for the Arts, bags of food and supplies are being packed and delivered every day.
I have signed an executive order which institutes a stay-at-home directive.
Immediately after Governor Hogan initiated the stay-at-home order, the folks at Black Rock got on board with the idea of using their venue as home base for food and supply distribution for the needy.
We started getting calls from families that had COVID.
It all started with a call from street outreach workers in the Up County.
They had a large donation of produce. Could they use the space to divide the produce for delivery to a local community? And within days, the hub concept was developed. This week alone, over 700 families.
In these COVID kits, you have everything from the thermometers, the tissues.
Grace Rivera-Oven is leading the effort at what now is known as the Up County Consolidation Hub to help those vulnerable families get the supplies they so desperately need during this crisis.
I knew things were going to get bad, and especially with the minority community, the Latino community, more specific, they are your essential workers. They're in the front lines.
And so that reality of taking this idea of a regional hub and then actually making it the spoke to where it's actually now sending out to all of the areas that need it is just a tremendous sort of really response to the need that we're seeing in our communities.
Yeah, so we're done. We bring it over here.
The team has been diligent in bringing food, hygiene products, and diapers, a big need, to a mobile home park in the Up County where many immigrants live. There are no barriers in receiving this assistance.
You need diapers. I'm not going to make you sign the Declaration of Independence for you to get diapers. You will get diapers. You need wipes, you will get wipes. You have the maseca, we need to have the maseca, which is the stuff you make tortillas with, and you need the rice and you need the beans.
I know a little bit about that.
Some comfort food, to just, when you're sick, you want to have comfort food.
There's a steady group of more than 100 volunteers, which includes some local high school and college students who help deliver the food every day.
Not doing a lot with my time. I'm a college student. I'm taking some online classes for the summer, but otherwise I've just been at home. So it's a good way to feel like I'm helpful, doing something for the community, and it's a nice thing to do with my time. I also just got my license in last October, so it's a good way to get some driving practice in.
You get a little bit emotional, because there are people that, come 2 days in a row.
Mango juice. You want water? Yeah.
I do this every single day, and sometimes people learn about my next distribution, and I saw them yesterday, and it's, and for those people, they really need the assistance, They're, and I can see it in their eyes.
That's a regular person. Yeah, he's a really nice guy. With the homeless people, we don't turn them away because they don't really have anywhere to go.
Grace Rivera-Oven says she has never been shy of a challenge and that growing up in this community has prepared her for this moment to deliver this effort.
I have a roof on top of my head. I have a wonderful family. Nobody is sick. I'm able to go home to a safe place. But not everybody's as lucky in our community. So this is about, all of us kind of coming together and just acknowledging our neighbors and saying you're not alone. It's like a labor of love that, it's like the hub is like pure of love.
Montgomery County officials are very serious about the county health order that requires a face covering whenever a person is out in public. County Health Officer Dr. Travis Gale says it is the best way to stop the spread. It's been mandated here in Montgomery County that everyone must wear a face covering unless you're a child under the age of 2 or you have a health condition that prevents you from wearing one. County Health Officer Dr. Travis Gale says wearing a mask is essential in keeping the number of coronavirus cases from surging. Does this include outdoors? Should we be wearing them outside?
Yes, so the mandate requires folks to wear masks out or face coverings outside, particularly in spaces where physical distancing is not possible to maintain and where you can't physically be separated from individuals by that 6 feet. So we tell folks it's indoors and outdoors. When you're wearing the mask, you have to have both your nose and your mouth covered, not this peeking through or peeking up, or this is the most common thing that we see. This is the proper way to wear your mask.
In a recent county survey, 91% of respondents said they think wearing a mask is very important in slowing the spread of COVID-19. And this also includes wearing a face covering outdoors.
For example, if you are an individual who is asymptomatic but actually have COVID-19, it blocks the particles coming out of your nose and mouth and helps block them and prevent them from getting on surfaces or coming into contact with other individuals. So that's why we promote wearing masks or face coverings in the general public.
78% of the survey respondents said they see many people wearing masks incorrectly. Dr. Gale says all it takes is a few simple steps to mask up the right way.
Make sure your hands are clean, and then make sure it's securely over your nose and your mouth to cover both. And that's how you can put on a mask. Sometimes they can get a little bit hot, it can itch, it can be a little bit of fatigue if you've had it on for a long period of time. And even in those settings, we say, hey, if you're by yourself and off in a space by yourself, take a little bit of a break. But when you're around other people, it's important to keep it on, and it's important for those other folks to keep theirs on as well to minimize any potential risk of transmission.
County officials are taking the mask mandate seriously and holding people accountable. Recently, some local establishments were shut down for not following the health order. Dr. Gale says it's critical to hold people accountable as the county works to keep the number of infections down.
Because our task is, certainly we would like to open up things as much as we can and give folks opportunities to do things safely. But by enforcing those folks who are not adhering and the bad actors, so to speak, see that if they don't, there are consequences to their actions.
Overall, Gale says Montgomery County residents are doing a good job of wearing their face coverings.
So congratulations to the residents of the county who have helped get us to where we are. And because of that, we need to continue to do the same things that we've been doing. I know it's tiring. Trust me, I know it's tiring. And give folks a chance to return to some sense of normalcy.
For more information about face coverings, visit the county's COVID-19 information portal. Great news for Montgomery County as biotech Novavax is awarded $1.6 billion from the federal government to develop and distribute a coronavirus vaccine. The federal government is placing its bet on the development of a coronavirus vaccine with the Montgomery County biotech company Novavax.
And tonight, Maryland biotech company Novavax is in the hunt for a COVID-19 vaccine.
The Gaithersburg-based company has been awarded $1.6 billion to develop and distribute 100 million vaccines as early as the end of this year. The company began working on this technology back in January and has seen great success in recent trials.
We're pretty confident that it's going to work given our experience in animals. We've done multiple vaccines using this technology. A new flu vaccine that we just announced results on a couple months ago. It's better than the current vaccine on the market. We have done an Ebola vaccine, a MERS vaccine, a SARS vaccine, Zika. So we've used this platform technology to make other vaccines, and we've always found that whatever we see in animals, we see in people.
The funding is part of the Operation Warp Speed program launched by the federal government to make vaccines and treatments for the coronavirus available to the public as quickly as possible. Though several other biotech corporations across the country are working on a vaccine, Young explained why the Novavax technology stands out.
So these other technologies that have been sort of out in front of us are technologies where they inject something into you and they expect you to make the protein and then make an immune response against that COVID protein. In our case, we make the protein in big fermenters. we purify it, and then we inject the purified protein directly into you. And so you don't your body doesn't have to do anything. You just have to have your immune response against that protein.
Young says there is greater experience with this traditional approach, which gives them the confidence that this vaccine will work. Novavax has partnered with another Montgomery County company, Emergent Biosolutions, to produce the vaccine.
You know, Emergent was critical to us being able to get into the clinic as quickly as possible. So they were able to immediately take our production system, plug it into their laboratories there, their production facilities there in Baltimore, and have been making our clinical trial materials.
The grant will fund late-stage clinical trials, including a phase 3 human trial that will begin in October. Novavax is one of more than a dozen Montgomery County companies leading the charge on a coronavirus vaccine and treatments. Young says there is no place better to work on a solution to save lives.
Yeah, there's no doubt that Montgomery County probably is one of the best locations for biotechnology anywhere in the world.
The county has invested in Novavax in terms of making sure that they were a company who would continue to be able to thrive here in the county, whether it's some of the property tax abatement that we do and other kinds of things that attract these companies to the region. Guess what? It can actually pay off, and we're seeing that now. Not only in terms of what the financial aspects are, but from a public health standpoint as well, in terms of the potential of saving hundreds of thousands of lives. That's a big deal.
The Novavax award was the biggest yet from the Operation Warp Speed program. By early next year, the company hopes to be able to make 50 million doses a month in the United States. This month, the council approved a special appropriation spearheaded by council members Nancy Navarro and Gabe Albornoz that's designed to reverse the negative impacts of the coronavirus on our hard-hit Latino community. In the month of June, 73% of the new coronavirus cases here in Montgomery County were Hispanic residents, and today, Hispanic community members account for 37% of all cases. In light of these alarming statistics, council members Nancy Navarro and Gabe Albornoz have introduced a special appropriation of $6.5 million to create the Por Nuestra Salud y Bienestar initiative. This program will provide a culturally competent community approach to help contain the spread of this virus in hard-hit areas of the county.
It has enhanced communication that is linguistically and culturally appropriate. We have a place where the community knows that they can go there and they can receive information, they can receive services, they can ask for help. And that is really important.
We envision these as a one-stop shop, and it also acknowledges that government alone cannot support these families. We need to build partnerships with key stakeholders who have community trust, have the relationships, but also can expand and leverage our precious resources.
Well, that does it for this edition of Council Wrap-Up. For more of the Council's news, you can visit their website. For County Cable Montgomery, I'm Susan Kennedy.